How to use Adobe After Effects CC 2019. Adobe After Effects CC is a motion graphics, visual effects, and compositing software developed by Adobe Systems and used in post-production process of filmmaking and television production. We can create cinematic movie titles, intros, motion graphics for film, TV, and the web. Adobe After Effects CC received Science Tech Academy Award in 2019. The Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Science recognized Adobe After Effects CC is the most efficient motion graphics tool in film production. So let's get started to learn this software. Welcome to After Effects CC 2019 tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you the basic tools and techniques of After Effects CC 2019 and how to use After Effects CC 2019 for beginners. So let's get started and let's launch the application and After Effects CC 2019. This is the welcome screen or start screen of After Effects CC 2019 you see here, and here lots of buttons you see and options available. And first I'm going to click here the home screen, and in the welcome screen shows the previously open After Effects projects, and here you see the right side you can filter the project by name. So look at here, I write Arabic, you will find out your previous I like write logo, and you will find and sort out your previously open project. And here options available: the last open project, size, and the kind. This is the AEP project, like AEP is the extension of After Effects, file extension of After Effects CC. And now another option is learn. You will learn the After Effects tutorial directly from adobe.com. So you can click here and it is direct to After Effects tutorial. Another option is sync setting. Here you sync your project direct to Adobe Creative Cloud. And another option, let's create a new project. If you want to create a new project, you click here. And if you want to open a previously created project, so you open here. So you can click here. So let's create a new project. I'm going to click here. This is the basic user interface of After Effects CC 2019. Guys, you see in After Effects, this user interface is organized into different areas, which is called panels. There are different types of panels. The left side you see, this is the project panel. This is the composition panel, and at the bottom this is the timeline panel. It is just like a Premiere Pro if you are familiar with Premiere software. So it is just like a Premiere workspace. And here in the project panel, we can access our media assets and import media files to create a project. So media files, it can be images, video files, audio files, and PSD files, Illustrator files, Targa sequence, which is created animation in Autodesk Maya and Blender and different 3D softwares. So you can import that sequence in animation sequence in project panel. And the composition panel is used to preview our project we created. And downside, there is a timeline panel. In the timeline panel, we can arrange and edit our media files, media assets here downside. Now guys, let's import media in Adobe After Effects CC 2019. How to import media for use in a project. So we just go to File, and here is the option Import, and we go to File, and the short key is Ctrl-I. We can import multiple files. We can import from libraries, the assets we save in libraries, and we can import our Adobe Premiere Pro project in Adobe After Effects as well. So here I'm just going to import some video files. So I'm just going to click here, and in this folder I have lots of files like Illustrator files, PNG files, video files, and Photoshop file. So one by one I'm just going to create import for these files, these assets in my project panel. So first I click this this footage, and I'm just going to import as a footage and import this file. Another way to import our media assets, to double click here in the project panel, double click in an empty area of the project panel, just double click here, and this import dialog box will open. So there are two ways we can import from file and double click in the project panel. And I'm just going to select the desktop area where I'll save my assets. Let's import JPEG file. So I have two JPEG files here. So to show you, if you want to import multiple files, just click press Ctrl in the keyboard and import. Now guys, you see two JPEG files, and here if I click the files, and upside you see in the project panel, it shows the file resolution, the frame rate, and the codec used here. This is a video file, and the JPEG file size here. Okay, now guys, another way, we just simply I import some Photoshop file. So we just go to desktop and select this file. And guys, you see in this dialog box of import file, we have an option here, footage, composition, retain layer, or composition. So if you want to, I just select this option, composition, retain layers, because if your PSD files, your Photoshop files have different layers, or you want to use these layers in After Effects, so you create and you want this file as a separate composition, so you select this option. So I just click here, composition, retain layer size, and hit import. Now guys, you see this dialog box is open. You can select here, you select the file footage, so only one image will open. And if you select composition, this is only one composition, make a composition. And if you select the composition retain layers, so you have options, layer options. So you want editable layer styles. If you select this, so you can edit separate layers in your timeline. And if you want to merge layers, so you didn't work any log layers, this is only one image shows there. So I select this edit layer styles, so hit OK. And guys, you see here downside the separate composition is created, which have separate layers. So I just double click here, and here you see in this composition, I double click here, all layers of Photoshop is imported in my timeline. So you see these layers I created in Photoshop. So I just double click, you see here. We can change this file separately. Same way we can import our Illustrator file. So we have lots of layers in Illustrator. Now guys, build and organize our composition. So I'm just going to add some files. So I import this file. And here just drag and drop this file from my project panel in the timeline, and I'm going to create a composition from this file. So just drag and drop downside in the project panel to create a composition. This icon, composition icon. And guys, you see here in the timeline, I'm going to change the composition name. So I just go and right click here and rename this composition com1. And I'm going to change the file name as well, layer name. This is the video file. And here you see downside. This is when we add different files in the timeline panel. This is called layer in our composition. So this only one layer is available here, and we can change the layer color from here. Just like we select orange and different. Just right click here, this side, this box, and we can change the color of the layer. And we can I'm just going to import another layer. This is the logo layer I just imported, and I just drag and drop just above of this another layer. So guys, we can change the position of the layers just like this. We move vertically. So layers are stacked one on the top of the other, so we can change the position of the layer. So we can change another layer. I just right click here, and I just add a new layer of text. I just write here text. I didn't see because the video file is above, so I just drag and drop above the text file, and this is the logo file. We can move these files here. Guys, you see this one, this is called layer handles. We can reduce the size of the layer, scale in and scale out by using this layer handles. These dots is called layer handles. So guys, you see there are three layers available here in our timeline, and we can switch it off by here. The option is we can hide the layer, we can lock the layers. And guys, you see these color bars on the right hand side of the timeline panel indicates how long the layer is displayed in the composition. So we can change how long a layer displayed by changing the length of the color bar. So here we just click and drag, move the cursor from the right hand side and layer, and click and drag the back towards left. So reduce the duration and size of the layer. So let's play. And here this logo file is available. I'm just going to delete this. Okay. Just double click here to edit the text. Again, I'm going to reduce the size of this layer. So I'm going to select this file, this layer, just press shift and just accurately select this. Move left to the left, drag the bar towards left. So here you see there are two layers, number 1 and number 2, and this is the time indicator. Now guys, to start After Effects project, so For this, we will need to build our graphic in a composition. So there are two ways to create a composition. First, you would just go to menu bar, and here the option available, new composition, and here you create a new composition. The short key is Control N, and you can also create here in the composition panel. You can create composition from here directly as well. I'm just going to click here. So now guys, you see in composition, this dialog box will open. First of all, what is composition? Composition is just a container that stores video files, audio files, text, it may be shapes, whatever your work, it depends on your task. So we can create more than one compositions in one project. So let's create a composition. Here, first, I'm just going to select the composition name. So I'm just going to write here After Effects 2019. And this is the basic settings of composition. So here I'm just click here the drop down menu, and here lots of built-in composition setting presets available. Depend on your task, the different resolution and frame rates. So you can select depend on your work. There are NTSC standard, video standard, and PAL, HDB, and different standard, and you can customize your composition width and height by directly right here the number, like 720 by 576, and let's say 1920 by 1080 height. And I'm just going to lock this aspect ratio, pixel aspect ratio, and here the frame rate, you can change the frame rate from here. So frame rate by default is 30 frame rate per second, and you can change the resolution of the file, the playback resolution. So depend on your computer. If your computer is fast and it's highly configured, so you select full playback resolution, or you can I select mostly third resolution because my system is not too fast. So, and here the start time code and the duration of the composition. Duration means how long your project is, 10 second animation or 10 second your whole compositions, depend on your work. This 10 second, or let's say I change it to 30 seconds, 45 seconds, or 1 minute, depends on your task. So I just select the 30 seconds, and here just click by default the composition color is black, so you can change it the composition color from here as well, and hit OK. This is the basic user interface, and if you are a beginners, so these settings are okay for you, and hit OK to create a composition. So let's create a composition. Now guys, you see this new composition is created, and in the project panel you will see this icon which is created here. You can see easily here, and you can change the composition name from here as well in the project panel. Just right click here, and here you see I just double click here in the project panel to maximize to show you. This is the settings of show the composition width and video information here. And now guys, you can, another method is you can create a composition from your video files, from your footage as well. So I'm just going to delete this composition, and here new composition, I just click here, new composition from footage. So I'm going to select one of footage from my raw video files. I just downloaded from some websites. So I just click here and import this footage. And now guys, you see this new composition is created from my footage, and it is automatically match the footage settings exactly. So here another, I'm just going to import another video file to show you. I'm just going to import this and going to create a new composition. And now guys, in this video file here, I'm just going to drag this footage onto the new composition icon here downside. You see in the bottom of the project panel, to automatically place it in a new composition, and just drag and drop here, and it's match the footage setting automatically. So this is another composition is created here, and you see in the timeline panel the second composition, and it is the first composition. I'm just going to change write the name here. This is the composition 1, and this is the rename this composition is composition 2. So now guys, this is all about, you can create multiple compositions in one project. You want to go, you go there, composition and new composition, write the name composition 3, and here it is the third composition. You see here in the third composition, but there is no video files in the composition. So as you say, that composition consists of different video files, audio files, and text files. Now guys, I'm going to add some text to show you the basic animation, basic text animation in After Effects CC 2019. And for beginners, this is very important to create simple text animation and intros in After Effects. So after importing files and we can add some text and shapes layers within After Effects software. So at the very top of the software, you see here the toolbar panel, and under the toolbar panel there is a text tool. So you can select directly from here and start typing directly on the composition. And here's the selection tool, short keys V. I'm going to align this text, and we can add text from the timeline here. Just right click here and go to new and add text from here, and we can add other layers like solid layer, light, camera, null object, shape layer, adjustment layer, lots of layers, cinema 4D layers. And here now guys, very important downside in the layer panel, you see this triangle. I'm just going to click here to show you the further properties here. By default, there are properties. We have different parameters to change their numbers or to set their position or scale for animation. So for this, we need keyframes. So keyframe is just a location on a timeline. We insert some dots. You can say this is the location in a timeline which marks the beginning, or I'm just going to show you, for example, this is the one keyframe, this is the keyframe in the beginning and end of the transition. Just 10 seconds after 6 seconds. Okay, I'm just going to increase the value. Going to see. So this is called the keyframes. Simply it is the beginning or end of the transition. So here you can select this stopwatch, toggle this stopwatch, and if we click here, that keyframe will disappear. So I'm going to show you the very basic animation. So click here to add a keyframe and animate the scale in property. So I'm going to select the value, write 0 here, and after 4 seconds I just moved my marker time ruler, and here I just increase, sorry, not rotation, increase the values, the scale a little bit, scale out this, so, and press spacebar or short key to preview this animation. So guys, you see this is very basic animation in text, and we can for smoother animation we just select this keyframe and right click here, go to keyframe assistant and hit easy and easy, and here we go, very smooth animation here. This is very basic animation to you'll play with this position, rotation. So here we're just going to check another property, so I'm going to delete this, sorry, I'm just going to delete the scale property. So here is another position, so we can change the position of the text. So first I just move this here, okay, now insert a keyframe here, and after 2 seconds I'm just going to reveal this. Another I'm just going to select keyframe assistant, easy and easy, hit F9 short key and play this animation. So you can use this animation, the position, and another the rotation. We can rotate this text layer. Can move this here, and let's play again. Guys, this is very simple, just to show you how to add keyframes, how to use these keyframes, how to add tags, what is layers in the timeline, and here I'm just going to delete this, so hit this and set this value another 0. Okay, now guys, here in the effects panel, effects and presets, I'm going to animation and presets, and here animation and presets, you go to text. So we have some built-in presets, very good built-in presets available here, so we can use in our animation. So I'm just going to select cut off lines and just drag and drop here, and this is the built-in preset. It is automatically add the keyframes, so hit play, and you see this is a very simple fade in, and I'm just going to add another fade of words. Very basic animation, you see. There are lots of built-in presets available here. So check another. Just going to trim it down shortly. Okay, now let's play. Okay guys, you can animate this text layer from here, the animate option available. Just click here and go to opacity, and here the range selector option. I'm just going to decrease the opacity and select the end selector from here. I'm going to decrease this opacity and hit the keyframe. Let's play this animation. Now guys, you can add some solid background, so I'm just going to select it, drag and drop behind this layer, and go to effects and generate, and here the gradient ramp effect I applied. And we can animate this ramp here as well. So we just hit the keyframe and here, and after 2 seconds just move it here. Let's play. You see guys, this ramp is moving. So it's all about the keyframe. You insert a keyframe and we animate our layers by using keyframes. Just double click here in the composition panel and just preview this animation. This is very basic animation. I'm going to select some new layer of solid, new shape layer, and I'm going to off this fill and only use stroke. So I just draw this shape layer. Decrease this stroke 6 and move here. I'm going to center all this layer a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to select this layer, this shape layer, and here add the trim path option. And here you see I'm just going to hide this and set a keyframe and reveal this after, and select keyframe assistant easy and easy. Now guys, this is very super easy animation, basic animation you create in After Effects. Now guys, I'm going to drag and drop this video file just downside below this solid layer, and here I'm going to change the blending mode to soft lay, this solid layer, and we can toggle to switches and modes from here. We just click here, so different switches available here, and in future if you work here so you can convert these text layers and 3D and all. So I'm just going to switch to blending mode, and I'm going to change this blending mode to soft lay, and further I need this animation just for 10 seconds. So here I'm just going to right click here, so I'm just going to reduce this and right click here and trim composition work area. So it is deleted. Further only my composition is 10 seconds. So we can render this file. So for rendering, I'm just going to select this. I'm going to select the timeline panel and go to composition, and here add to render queue, and the short key is Control M. So I'm going to render or export this animation, text animation with this video file. So here the batch settings, select, so full resolution, and further you just hit OK, and the lossless, select which format of you want to export or render your, so AVI or QuickTime. I select QuickTime. There are lots of options. You can render in TIFF sequence, Targa sequence, and Photoshop PNG sequence, but this is not I just select the video format QuickTime, and the rest options is okay, and hit OK here. And here the output file location, so I save this on my desktop, assets, comp1, and hit render. Now this tutorial is for beginners who want to know the basic interface of After Effects CC 2019. So guys, if you like my video, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel, DigitalCreations. And this rendering is completed. Here you see in the timeline, the time shows this is 10 seconds animation, and here the estimated time is 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, the render is complete. Now guys, my file is exported. I'm just going to check this file, render completely.